There I am.
So how long is your live going to be today?
I have no idea. InShalla and Ashe, welcome to the Daily Snippet, holistic Sha'medium and subtle energy surgeon here, Tonya D. So it's a magic Monday, and the energy is one of a timeline actually released. So anything that you've been holding the ground for since 2012 or even 2003 that isn't really resonating with your core processor in your light show, that's done and done. So with that little intro, now that I've got my new little show here, ding, ding. In the elemental realm today, let me just move that little baby right over. We have a Yin Metal Snake Day. Now, snakes are and can be mesmerizing. Think of the book Jungle Book. But snakes have to be right. And it's not that their ego is demanding it, it's just that they try so hard to do everything right. It affects them deeply within their talents. So they worry about covering all their bases if they didn't check it all out first. So the snake is kind of like a worry wart and frets when everything isn't just perfect. So this really is a lack of self-love. So serenity is really the quest for the snake. They fear rejection and they'll often rise up and hiss. The hiss is a reject kind of sound first before they get rejected themselves. So sometimes misreading the signals, they can sever a very good relationship without even realizing it, because in their mind's eye or in their feelings, they feel like it's better to sacrifice that than to take the chance of being the dumpee, being dumped, or instead of the dumper. So the snake has to have the last word. Somewhere in the snake's childhood, a lie was established. So either something was misperceived and the snake built this entire movie scenario around that story, that lie, that wasn't actually true, and then was told a lie or on purpose or something like that, or by omission by someone that she really constructed the life around. So you kind of have to go back and find out where the lie was and remove the curse that was followed through the life and times of that event, because that's how they get construed. So looking through the adult perspective or the adult eyes can often do wonders, and usually it does. So the energy for the snake is like to affirm I am self-love, loving of yourself first. And we all have the snake somewhere energetically in our timeline. It's just acknowledging it and going through the process, because the snake energy really needs to find, accept themselves for really who they are. Even though they look for it in other people, they actually must first love themselves. So again, we have all the elements today present except for the energy of wood, which is hidden in the month branch, just one hidden. But we have this, Yin Metal Snake Day with Xin Si. But it's wood. It's a wood kind day. Growth, ascension, kindness, even visioning. Herbal items like essential oils, herbs themselves, offering of herbs. So it's a day of spiritual reflection as well. Let me flip this a little bit here. So being that it's a day of self-reflection, our subconscious is in this position to release our thoughts and our feelings and our memories or our memoirs that come into our awareness from under the rug, or they come out of the closet. So with our intuition and our psychic senses online, it's like we are our own spiritual warrior looking into alternate lifetimes or timelines and really releasing to clean up those thread lines, releasing things that no longer belong in our personal cosmic soup. So what beliefs aren't in alignment anymore. So it's this amazing day to really connect with our spiritual acumen, our spiritual connection, our higher self, and receive those otherworldly messages. So whatever spiritual ritual that you do on the daily, hopefully, it really is a day for those practices, whether it's chanting, some people do yoga, meditation, So it's this yin energy of going inward, but we also have yang energy too of going outward. So it really is this teeter-totter kind of balance in these realms. So it's like combining the mind, body, spirit, and even the soul. They're having a collaboration where they're in this mystical or otherworldly kind of venue. So within this channel, along with the energy of the snake, you might be comparing the narrative of your own soul story with the story of your higher self. It's like having the book open, seeing the light through the eyes of spirit, your higher self, or even the God channel, if you will, source energy, great spirit, whatever you want to call it, and see where these patterns and these recalibration, the lines haven't really been met in your timeline for this incarnation. So we have the ability for some galactic, otherworldly insight, watching this movie scene and just knowing what scene to cut, like where to cut the scene out, especially if it's on repeat, like a broken record. So besides self-love, loving the self, forgiveness is also a key to access this scene and open that door. So you could even just let go of the beliefs or an attitude of thought that adds to these unhealthy living styles. Life changes, and change in life that goes hand in hand. So it's time to really allow whatever happened in the past to really float away or flow away, no longer feeling less than or guilty or ashamed or anything lower than. So these cosmic hooks, if you will, they keep us in this sort of self-contained imprisonment where we put ourselves in our own galactic prison. So things we can change, but we can do better kind of next time, next go around, if that's our journey, right? So hold the force, see your patterns, and free yourself from this captivity that's holding you from living the best life. And naturally and also organically, Spirit will send you messages in your spiritual practice today, sending you a wiser, more ancient wisdom kind of message, elevating the story that you tell yourself on the daily. So it really is a time to knead the dough, like knead the dough and reshape it and shift this experience. So it's a day really to utilize our spiritual wisdom. Our intuition is online to choose a path of the higher, elevated, ancient wisdom, along with going with our highest good, the goodness and the juiciness, and just having this entirely wholeheartedly forgiveness, forgiving the past. Sometimes the intuition, that channel can be brutally honest, very truthful, maybe a little rigid. And our mind, the logical side, kind of flicks it out of the way, shifts it aside. So be kind of compassionate to your feelings. Go with the flow of your emotional needs. You just might need to change how you feel in the long run, like having that affirmation. I have affirmations every day going off everywhere, whether it's my computer, the phone, somewhere there's some affirmation going off. But all in all, connect with your higher self today, your Sira, what you look like in the other dimensions, and just allow your spiritual insights to flow in those streams, and forgive the past and see literally that beacon of light. The crown is open. It's probably going to come in shades of whites and blacks with a little gray possibly, but really see with your vision center, the crown, the light that resides within yourself. So you might even compare a past life soulmate on this day. So we often at times we attract soulmates when our story is about to galactically shift and wave to a new dimension. And these magical points in space and time that we refer to when we evolve to take a kind of a self measurement, our own little measuring cups of how far we've actually come. So really make it a blessed forgiving day and just really take note, if you will. With our crown center, it's online, those are colors of violets and whites. You could do like a white violet, lavenders, even the smell of lavender really, especially, needing the nature element, essential oils of lavender itself. You could make your own little pot of good juju on the kitchen stove if you decided. But we also have the sound of the ong to bring in the angelic realms and the swishing or the shishing of leaves. I kind of like the swishing over the shishing myself, but kind of feel into that and go with that today. But the stone of the day, because the crown is open, oopsie, the stone of the day, there we are. This is howlite. So howlite is this magical crown center stone. This is like encouraging us to find our true one path. I actually have the shell in the stone in my cowrie shell divination, but it's far from just a dreamer's kind of stone. It makes a bridge of clarity between our heart center and also our crown as well. So when these two centers are clear and connected, this really grants us space for the trust and the wisdom and that infinite love and understanding to really shine into the galactic future. But howlite is this soft, soothing, and ever ready to kind of tempt us to fall off the emotional ledge, but it's all about tempering the storm. So this creamy white stone, sometimes shot with silver veins, is also known as a white buffalo, the sacred buffalo of all things. White turquoise, kaolinite, lapis howlite, but its more scientific edge name is this silicoboro-calcite. But you know, howlite is known to be a kind of a borate mineral. It can be mined in the wild nodule shapes and blooms that appear similar, kind of like a cauliflower. But it's this highly attuned every energy that every and purest snow white color schemes kind of oozes with compassion and that sensitivity. Whether by name or nature, it really is this healing crystal that seems to be gifted in the spiritual department. It was actually discovered by Henry Howe back in 1868. And he was this Canadian chemist and a mineralologist. But this stone found its more poetic title when the geologist James Dwight Dana, another one, renamed it after that. But howlite's been mined across many corners of the earth, uncovered in Nova Scotia, up in Canada, but it can also be found in the USA, Germany, Namibia, Pakistan, Turkey. I want to go to Turkey, just saying, and Russia, the warmer shores of Mexico. But it's also been named the imitation stone, as sometimes dealers would dye the snowy hues a different color to make it look like turquoise. While this color, you know, it doesn't need to imitate anyone because it has its own unique special stone, its own colors, its own healing properties. But it's a stone of patience and perspective, which is great for the energy for today. If you feel like you have the need to slow it down, observe, and clear the constant stream of chatter that happens in our mind, where our mind's giving us not a pep talk, but a heart attack. But it's crystal that marries us more to being a mindful, centered way of life. So, you know, it comes with this whole host of healing benefits that really soothe the body, the mind, and the spirit. But above everything, it's really an amazing calming stone, ever ready to slow down the heartbeat, the cool calamity temperatures, or, you know, if we get angry. But it also shows us the way to wisdom. But it has this gentle vibration that connects and flows, raising our own awareness and really granting us clear vision. So it's got this pale coloring and calming nature that also works best when it's paired with blue lace agate, or even the heart healer, rose quartz, the twinkle of peridot, the crown center connector, amethyst. You know, we could always bring in amethyst really for anything. But it's also this highly emotional stone, but that doesn't mean that it cuts corners when it comes to our overall health and well-being. In a physical sense, it's this bone white coloring. It lends a hand when it comes to helping balance the calcium, the bones in our body, the energy there. But it also strengthens our skeleton, helps with our hair, our teeth. So it's just got this radiant health about it. And it signals our body when we need more water to actually thrive, you know, whether that's herbal tea or soaking in a detox bath. But the stone really calls to the element of water. And also, if you find your mind's filled with constant streams of noise, that chaos and clutter, This stone brings a spot of calm and this contemplative silence, great for meditation. So everyone who has a mind that moves with the swinging branches of a million monkeys knows that sleep and respite can be really tough to find. But when you have this stone on your side, it can encourage those turbulent waves to settle and to turn into a gentle flowing river. It's excellent for calming an overactive mind and tempering emotional expression. If you're quick to anger or rush in with a hot head, this is like this long, cool drink of water on a scorching day. But it shows us to take a moment to consider all angles before responding, because that can often lead to, a better outcome. But it's also an exceptional absorber of stress, tension, making it this amazing tool to have a hand of moments that, we feel pressured. And it invites us to approach the world with love and understanding, and also communicate in a way that doesn't pour fuel onto those flickering flames. But it's really a cleanser of negative energy as well. It can mop up those bad vibes and keep us connected with those higher realms and keep us in line with our path to our purpose, our prime directive. So it's just easy for us to get caught in the tangled webs of the world and to channel our energy into the minutiae, the smallness. But it's here to connect with the Crown Center, which is online today, and to remind us not to, climb through the swamp when we could be leaping towards serenity and ancient wisdom and knowledge, because this stone is really thirsty for knowledge across all avenues, in particular, the spiritual acumen. But it also connects us to the third eye, the place of our infinite inner wisdom, and our deeper heartfelt intuition, the color channel. So if you're excited to explore the past lives and the possibility of that, this stone can actually assist in bringing those into detail. So if you're ready to release the Kraken and get out of the past, those stories that you've already lived, this stone is actually great for that. Ding, ding, ding. Here I am. You only get to see me for a second. However, now we get the cards of the day. Ding. There we go. I pulled the smoky mirror. So the smoky mirror is a representation of the aspects of what it, was implied or immediately known out into the world. So the mystery of how things come together, but also how they fell apart without any obvious casualties. So the symbol here, energetically, it can also represent the shadows of our human psyche, the parts of the self that one day sounds. So the smoky mirror also represents a state of denial, the end or the ability or the refusal actually to see the truth. So really understanding the shadow of our human journey requires that we go deep into the story, to the movie, to discover the wound that's preventing us from seeing the truth of our current situation. So our fears and expectations of disappointment and unworthiness might really be clouding our capacity to see the potential within ourselves and also the potential that we could see in others. So the smoking mirror, it's also showing us things that we don't want to see as a result of our conditioning. I prefer conditioning over programming, but this can become even more real, but only because we're making it so. So the choice is absolutely ours, 100%. And the world is going to hold us accountable for what we see and also what we create. So you can see through the eyes of truth or faith. We have a choice. Or see through both, right? The eyes of faith and also the eyes of truth. Whoopsie. Wrong button. Sorry, I'm getting used to this. Dun, 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 dun. So then, oh my goodness, let's have some fun here. There we go. The Beauty Way was the next card. This kind of looks like a little lotus, but it's, of course, upside down, upside right. Everything's upside right today. But the beauty, this is both a path that we need to travel on, and also it's a daily reminder. So the path is where we chose to perceive only beauty laid out before us, behind us, all around us, through this journey in life, like seeing that the beauty within all the things. So this is the practice where we take action to bring beauty to every situation that we're actually in. And even when things get ugly, you can ask to bring in that integrity, the peace to the encounters that are challenges or difficult. So when everyone else perceives the darkness, you could find out the light, seek the light, and help uncover those hidden mystical treasures. So the message here is to stop trying to fix relationships that you believe are broken, and also recognize the things they're exactly as they need to be in the exact moment, and just acknowledge the inherent beauty within the moment. And when we have this understanding, we're actually able to bring about the change that we want within. So it's like not engaging in gossip about the darkness or the flaws of others, and just be careful not to be even seduced by the superficial beauty of a project or a relationship that you're kind of toying with, playing the game with, unless you're willing to pay the price for that later, like in the laters. And then the last card I pulled, let's see if I can not, oh good, I got better there. The seer. So the seer, which I love the seer, I think I pulled this card before, but that's our capacity to go beyond the obvious details of life, the nitty gritty, and really go into those hidden realms where this information is actually available to each and every one of us if we have the discernment to perceive it. Discernment is a thing. So the symbol is this representation of psychic perception, our intuition, just the knowingness and the capacity to know something without being exposed to it. It really is like the knowingness. So the seer, again, knows the truth, always seeks the truth behind the veil, all else, and really sees reality as it truly is without the judgment zone. So the seer, the energy of it, can really read between the lines and have this understanding what is not being said. And it represents the power of the clarity, even the forces behind clarity, and being able to recognize the patterns, all the patterns. So the seer has arrived on this magical day, magical Monday, really to challenge us to get out of our denial, the river of that, and begin telling ourselves the truth about the situation. So wishful thinking isn't going to make what we desire happen when we're refusing to see things for the truth as they are, the reality of it. So the truth might hurt, but it also is what sets us free to see the magic and the beauty and the bounty on the other side and really claim that. It's just waiting for us to actually notice it. So it's this moment of power, of true power, like the true authentic power. So the seer is just offering this medicine, and when we're ready, we can surrender our vision, literally hand it over to spirit, and ask to be shown the truth no matter what the price. And once we do this, then our eyes open and we're actually going to receive that galactic powerful gift. So I sense with all of these cards, give me a second here. Bingo. Oh, look at me. I did so great. I sense with all of these cards to go with the magic of spirit today, the spiritual acumen, walk in the kindness, be grateful, feel blessed all day long. Really pour into your chalice, your own self-love, the energy of the snake, and put your energy into your own personal self-growth. Water your own sacred garden, your personal growth, and just validate all the things that resonate within you and through the realm of spirit. It really is kind of this merging of those two frequencies, those energies. And as far as an affirmation, it would be like, I affirm I am in a field of gratitude. Imagine just being in a field of gratitude and knowing you are blessed, right? And opening your spirit eyes and seeing a new light, even a new color of light, a new vibration of light, whatever that looks like for you. Bring in the violets, the lights, or start smelling lavender. I don't know, whatever resonates with you and through you. So with all of that, InShalla and Ashe. And as always, I'll see you on the other side.